Good morning, everyone. This morning, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about the importance of vitamin D. As you can see in the background, I finally got my Christmas decorations down this weekend, which makes the house look kind of fresh and clean, which is great. And outside, it is snowing like crazy again. For those of you that don't live near Bruce County, we have about 2 feet of snow outside, and it looks like we're going to be getting more. So it seemed like the perfect day to talk about why I think vitamin D is so important. I think I could probably sit here and chat about it all day, but I promise I will keep it brief. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Dr. Jennifer Hessler. I am a naturopathic doctor and a mom of 3 little monkeys, and I am passionate about helping people understand how to incorporate healthy eating, time-efficient and effective exercise, stress management techniques, as well as how to help their bodies function optimally so that they can go on to do all of the wonderful things that they're meant to while feeling their best. So like I said, today I'm going to talk about why I think it is so important to have your vitamin D level checked. And I think it's especially important when we live in a northern climate, but even in warmer climates, I think it's still worthwhile. So this is something that I recommend to all of my patients, to have their blood levels checked. And consistently, I see that the levels are less than optimal. And that's even when people are already supplementing with lower levels like 1,000 or 2,000 international units. Those are common dosages. And even when people have gone south for a bit in the winter. And I'm going to talk a bit about why I think this is the case. I should mention it is possible to have excessive levels of vitamin D because it is a fat-soluble vitamin that stores in our liver. However, clinically, I don't really see that as being much of a consideration. From having tested hundreds of patients, I have never seen anybody be too high due to supplementation, and I have seen many people be on the low side. So here are the main reasons why I think that is. The first one is that we often wear sunscreen in the summer, which is when we have the highest potential to produce vitamin D. Don't get me wrong, I think vitamin D or sunscreen is very important to wear, but it does create a barrier that makes it harder for vitamin D to be made in our skin. The other thing is that even when it is warm outside, many of us are working and we're not in the direct sunlight. So I know they say 20 minutes of sunlight should be enough to make vitamin D. However, I don't see that as being the case. I think the window of time in northern climates when it is warm enough for us to be outside and not be totally covered up, it's fairly short. So it's really not enough time to make up for all of the months when we are more covered and the sun is further away, so there isn't as much potential to make it. The other thing is that vitamin D is a natural anti-inflammatory, and due to our current lifestyle and our diet, our stress levels, our lack of exercise, it creates more inflammation in our body. So I think if a lot of our vitamin D is being diverted, putting out those inflammatory fires, there is less vitamin D left over to be hanging around in the blood. Also, there are vitamin D receptors in our gut. There are some foods that do contain vitamin D, but our main production comes from sun exposure through our skin. And I think because many people have digestive issues, that's the main complaint or concern that I see patients for in my clinic. Digestive imbalances can make it much more difficult to be able to absorb vitamin D properly in the gut. So we're having less opportunity to make it through our skin, and then we're using it up quicker and we're not absorbing it as well in the gut from the food that we do consume. So I think it's really important. Do yourself a favor and get your blood vitamin D levels checked. It is such an important nutrient. It helps to boost our immune system. It helps, like I said, to reduce inflammation in the body. It helps to get calcium into our bones, and it's also really important for helping with our mood. So in the middle of winter, when it's been gray and dreary for several months, it's no wonder that we all tend to feel really down, because if we're not supplementing, that's probably also when our vitamin D levels are at their lowest. For those of you that live in Ontario, vitamin D unfortunately is not typically a test that's covered by our provincial healthcare plan. However, I think it is $37 that is very well spent. Once you know where your vitamin D level is, then it's possible to calculate what you should be taking. That's what I typically do for my patients. And then if somebody is low to begin with, I recommend retesting their levels in about 3 months' time to make sure that they have responded accordingly. So I'm sure that's more than enough information about vitamin D. If you have any questions, then please post them in the comments below. But yes, I think when we're looking at what is important to consider supplementing, vitamin D is definitely right up there in my top 3. So I hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe. It doesn't look like it's too bad for driving, but it is definitely snowy. And I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.